Hello everybody, we'll get started here in just a moment. Happy Friday to everyone. Woohoo! It is Friday, right? Just waiting for everything to finish connecting here. There we go, we're all connected and live and all that fun stuff. Hope everyone has had a wonderful week. I am feeling much better than I was this time last week, that's for sure. And this is tonight's Feature Friday is episode 3 of our Decoupage Trip quilt right here. This is what we're working on. And on episode 2, we got half of the quilt top pieced. Let's have a look at that. Right here. So now we have to piece the other half, and that's what's up on the wall and behind me. We're gonna get this part of the quilt top done tonight, and then in the next episode, which will be the final episode, there will be 4 episodes to this, we'll be attaching the borders. And I want to do a little preview on what the border fabric looks like because it is super cool. And if you're watching, please remember to like the video. And please leave a comment in the comments section. I am watching it closely and I'm here to answer any questions you might have. But this is the border fabric, everybody. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Wow. And just so you get an idea of how this will apply to the quilt top, look at the picture and look at the border fabric there. So that border fabric is this fabric right here. It will be gorgeous, for sure. So before episode 4, I will have this all cut apart. And all I'm going to do, this border fabric, I'm just going to cut it out. There's 4 strips of it on here. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to use this black line right here is where I'm going to cut. That's what I'll use as my cutting guide. So if you open this up, check it out. Across the width of the fabric, there are 4 runs of this beautiful border print. Okay. And then the corners will be mitered. And I'll be doing all of that on the beautiful Bernina L890 serger. Okay. So let's get some pieces set up. And we're going to get moving with this. I've had a crazy busy week between doctor's appointments and people coming into the studio for help and all that fun stuff. So what I'm going to do, let me grab, hi Christina, hi Ernestine, good evening. I'm going to start grabbing strips off of here. Now I started piecing this already on this end up here. So I'm going to grab that off of my wall first. And I will not be here wait a minute, I will be here Friday night. I'll get home Friday from Bernina headquarters up in Chicagoland. I'm going up there for a few days of training this week. Next week, I should say. Hello, Tracy. So yes, this corner here is the outside piece, and I'm adding strips on this end right here. So I'm going to drop to my other camera, so you can really see how I'm going to lay this on. Just remember, these are all individual pieces that I just have stuck up here on my design wall. Okay. That being said, let's do this. Let's swap cameras. Here we go. And I'm just going to keep adding strips in the designated pattern, moving out this way from, this would be, let's see, this is the left, looking at the left edge of the quilt. I just had to think there for a minute. Okay, so this one would go right there. Move these down, so this end right here, move my camera just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now you can see it. You can see how that green line goes up this way. This is what I'm doing. I'm just lining some up. I'll probably pull like 4 off at a time to lay out here, something like that. Maybe 5. Let's do 5. Make it a nice odd number there. See, that's 3. Now that I know that, I can set this one to the side. This is what I'm building on right here. Okay. There we go. And there's 4. And there's 5. Really, even though I'm spreading this out over several episodes, everyone, if I was just sitting here getting it done, this could easily be pieced in 2 days without pushing yourself very hard. It really goes together quickly. You get my coffee and move it over. Okay. And then once again, I have my machine set up for a 3-thread overlock, narrow, which means my needle is in the right position. Okay. And I have my stitch width set at 8.5 millimeters for my cutting blade. And that gives me a perfect 1/4 inch seam. Okay, so I'm going to swap cameras again, and we're going to start stitching. There we go. Just angle that a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we are ready to go. So everyone, I have had a wonderful opportunity offered to me this week, and that was to teach this fall up at the Madison, Wisconsin Quilt Show, which is sponsored by PBS, and I have graciously accepted. Actually pretty excited about that because not next week, but week after next, I'll be up in Wisconsin teaching at the Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio in Beaver Dam. I'm super excited about that as well. And I'm just nesting each seam as I go. If you should see me out on the road this year, you will see this quilt top because it is going to travel with me through the end of the year. Okay, so looky there. Beautiful nested seams, perfect 1/4 inch, quarter inch. Thank you, Ernestine. I'm so excited about that. Yeah, Chris, honestly, I don't know if that is going to be televised. I just know that PBS is sponsoring the quilt show, so they are the one PBS is actually paying me to be there. This is all new to me. As I get more information, I will let you all know. But I'm just super excited to be there for that. And what I'm developing a technique to do faux sashiko on the Bernina 790 Pro sewing machine. It has a unique feature that allows me to do that. So that's what I'm basing my class on, is that. It's sashiko inspired. It is definitely not a true sashiko stitch, but it is really beautiful, a beautiful technique. And no, I'm not using invisible thread. That's a handle quilting stitch. That is not what it's about. There's a feature on the top of the line Bernina sewing machines that allows me to create a faux sashiko stitch. Yes, the event I'm doing in 2 weeks at the Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio, the fabric sponsor for my class is Cherrywood Studios. They do all the hand-dyed fabric. And boy howdy, I've got some here now that I'm making samples with. And boy howdy, I've never used it before. I honestly have never had time to. I know it sounds weird, but I've just never had the opportunity to really work with that fabric, and oh, I'm a total fan now. Love the look and the feel of it. It's just really rich, and well, it's a solid color. It's kind of marbled, and it's real textury, and it just has a wonderful hand to it. I have a new favorite fabric line, and that's from Cherrywood Studios. I will have to design a quilt top using that fabric, and we'll do it live online sometime. Those 5 sewn together. But the PBS, it's called Wisconsin PBS. I don't know what, they have several public broadcast channels throughout the great state of Wisconsin. And I don't know if, I know my class is not going to be televised, but I'm sure they will be there filming different portions of it anyway. And that's the first week of September this fall. Nina McVeigh is going to be there doing an embroidery class, so I'm going to do something I came up with this technique so I do something just using the sewing side of that machine. You know, Bernina has a new machine, top-of-the-line machine coming out. The 8 series is being retired. And I don't know if those machines will be in supply enough by then for us to have the class on that new machine. I'm hoping they will, but we'll see. Well, there's that section. Let me swap my camera back here. Lisa, no, I do not have my blade disengaged. I let my fabric just kiss the blade, and let me swap my camera, and I will show you. Let me just get my cup off here. For this entire quilt tub, this is all I've trimmed. And as you can see here, it is just threads and hairs. It's not trimming hardly any fabric at all. So I'm using the blade as an edge guide, and the way I have the machine set up, I get a perfect 1/4 inch seam. Okay, so there's that one. Now we need to do another one. So we're going to do another set of 5 over this way. One and 2. I'd hoped to be on, I planned on coming on earlier this week through the week. It did not work out this week for me. Oh, between 2 days of doctor's appointments and still recuperating from whatever buggy virus I caught in Colorado and brought home with me, and it infected Mike with it. He's better now. We're all doing better, so that's a good thing. Okay, 5 more. I'll just stick this back here on my wall so it's out of the way. Let me get my other piece, get it back on the wall. Let's see, right there. There we go. Then when it comes time to sew the sections together, it'll be a binga banga bonga. Just go right along. Okay. And I'm just using regular serger thread. I'm also getting ready to do a paper piecing technique on the serger. Yes, you heard me right, paper piecing. I'm still experimenting with that technique. When I have it perfected and ready to go, I'm going to put it in rotation, my workshop rotations. I'm experimenting with different weights of thread. Well, Tracy, I'm sure I'll be back to Colorado. I might, excuse me. I think I might be coming to the Denver metro area in November. Rocky Mountain expressed an interest in me coming and doing a long arm seminar there, so we'll see about that. I was all set to come there in May, but that was while I was still with Baby Lock, and that just didn't work out after all because of I changed companies and all that fun stuff. But hey, it's all good. I tell you, making the changeover has been fun. It's definitely been a huge learning experience for me. That's what I needed. And you know, change is everything. Our lives, it's always, well, whether we can admit it or not, our lives are always in a flux of change, and it's a good thing. Oh, awesome, Tracy. Yeah, Rocky Mountain's a great company. I think they have 4 stores. They were going to have me go to all 4 of their stores and do a one-day seminar at each one. So I've got to call my contact there and see if we can't narrow down a date for the fall, simply because my calendar for the fall is starting to fill. I will be in Austin, Texas. Let's see. Austin, Texas in September, and then I have an Iowa gig in October, I think. I do expect to have a pretty full travel schedule this fall, especially with the new machine coming out. I'm actually going to be selling off some of my Baby Lock equipment so I can invest in some of the new stuff that's coming out. Okay. So tell me, everybody, are you seeing closed captions at the bottom? I've been playing with settings, trying to get that turned on so that folks that need it will have it available to them. I'll watch the replay of this and check it out myself, but if you're seeing closed captions at the bottom of the screen, I'd appreciate you letting me know. Sometimes I'm afraid to tweak settings because we all know I've had issues in the past. And knock on wood, I'm knocking on my head. It has been a while. It's been cleared up for a while now. I shouldn't have said that because sure as shooting, something will mess up. Since I just said that, I just tempted fate. One of my sewing friends came by the studio today, Carol, and she brought me a lovely gift. This very ornate wood carved side chair. It's really cool. It's very Art Deco. like carved mahogany. It's beautiful. She found it in an antique shop and said it spoke to her and said she had to buy it to give it to me. And I was so touched, and it is really beautiful. Thank you. If you're watching, Carol, thank you. Okay, Julie, thank you for that. I will have to. It maybe is only going to work on the recorded playback. I don't know. I'll have to play with it some more. Okay, Tracy, thank you. Okay, so there's another 5 section done. So let's get the next one started. This is actually going to be the last section of the piece. I think there's 6 strips left. So I'm just going to set those all up. What's left to do here? Oops. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And then for my final piece, I have 2 strips already sewn together on the end. Oops, I was laying down my boundary lines when I was setting up my wall, and that's how I pieced to begin with. I pieced 2 strips together at each end of the width to get me to where I needed to be. There we go. Okay, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 strips right there. That will be all of the single strips all sewn together. Thank you, Ernestine. Oh, thank you, Julie. I love this too. I bought this. This was a quilt kit that I purchased last March when I was down at Flash Sew and Quilt in Naples, Florida, doing a Serger camp. And they had the finished quilt on the wall. I fell in love with it. Had to have it. I'm sure nobody else has ever had that problem. But this line of fabric is from In the Beginning, is the name of the fabric company, and it's the Decoupage series of prints. And yeah, it is beautiful. I'm usually not that much into florals either, but boy howdy, this one spoke to me. I will tell you, I think after seeing the fabric and handling it, I can tell you I can see my mother and my grandma Dalton wearing their house dresses made out of fabric like this. As a kid, when I was growing up, it really, really reminds me of my mom and my grandma. Who have both been gone for many, many a year. I was 26 when my mother passed away, back in the 80s. My grandma, she passed away back in the 70s. And it's odd when you think about stuff like that, because sometimes it seems like it's been a million years since I've seen them. And other times it's just like it all happened yesterday. It's odd how that works, isn't it? Or especially this time of year for me. My mother taught me how to hunt for mushrooms, and this is mushroom season right now, and boy howdy, I think it brings back memories every time I'm out in the woods looking for mushrooms this time of the year, that's for sure. Wonderful, Tracy. It really is a beautiful piece. It really is. I mean, these fabrics, that company, they did good when they developed this line here. Whoever was the designer for this fabric line, yeah, they earned their keep with this one, I will tell you. Because I think I said this in episode 1. If you've ever watched the movie Fried Green Tomatoes, there's one of the fabrics in this are red roses, and boy howdy, when Itzy was in the nursing care facility, she had her bedroom walls decorated with her paper roses, and she called it her rose garden. This quilt also reminds me of that movie. Just one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a good movie. I call it a feel-good movie. Has a wonderful, happy ending to it. After a lot of heartache and all that stuff. Okay, let's get another one attached on there. That's for sure, Tracy. Give me a drink of coffee on that one. Oh, Julie, that's awesome. And you're right, this does look like, that's one thing when I go to a thrift store / antique store, for some reason, I'm always attracted to China and stuff. Now, I used to collect Asian China, specifically Dragonware, Moriage, and boy howdy, I had some very nice pieces and sets until I went through Hurricane Ike in 2008, and I lost all but one piece of it, literally, and it's not even a complete piece. It's actually a teapot with the lid didn't survive. Never found that. Stupid hurricane. But I did find my Korean teapot. It was a Korean set. And, well, hold on. Let me just go grab it real quick. I have it out in my shop here. Hold on. Be right back. Okay. Whew. So, you ready? Check it out. I had a complete service of this, and this is all relief. This the china and porcelain, it's all raised. But I had a complete set of this, everybody. And this is one of the few things I cried about losing during my experience, my one and only experience with a hurricane on the Gulf Coast. Yeah, it now has a little chip right there, but that's okay. I'm going to plant bamboo in it, some happy bamboo. That's what I'm going to do with this. So I did manage to save this one piece of my Oriental china. Yeah, but I felt when I saw this, I fell in love with it, and I had to have it. And I just wish I still had the whole set, but has good happy memories and has good juju. This thing here, it's a survivor, everybody. It survived a 13-foot storm surge that washed over 90% of Galveston Island in 2008. So it's all good. And I'll occasionally see a piece of it here and there, but I will tell you, I've never seen another whole set of it anywhere. Okay, let's get back to piecing this here. But the set that I had that was really extremely valuable, even more so than the one piece I just showed you, none of it survived. It was the goddess. It was called the Goddess Deity set from China, and it had the Madonna with the gold leaf on it. And I mean, I had more than just a tea service of that. I had the tea service, the coffee service, the whole enchilada, a complete mint set of it. And all I found were broken pieces of a few pieces of that after the waters went down. Okay. But you know, I learned a very valuable lesson from experiencing that. Stuff is just stuff, everybody. You can replace. Oh, well, Tracy, thank you. You're so awesome. I appreciate that so much, Tracy. Thank you. And I'll tell you, I learned by going through that hurricane that stuff is just stuff. You can replace stuff. It may not be easy to find, but you can replace it. You can't replace the people you love or your pets. I lost 2 pets in that hurricane as well. I had Bengal show cats, and I will tell you, since 2008, I have not been able to own another cat since then. Because whenever I'm just going to start crying, I'll just finish this real quick so I don't make a fool out of myself live on camera. But her name, Cleo, was a snow leopard, and she was pregnant. And Rusty was a gold glitter coat with the most beautiful green eyes you could ever see. His coat was called a glitter coat because when the sunlight hit it, it looked like he had metal flakes in his coat. He was gorgeous, and they were both so friendly. But they too did not survive the hurricane. That's all I can say. I've come close to getting a cat again, but I just can't. I have in my Asiatic lily bed out back, I have a wrought iron cross that I bought when I lived in Texas after the hurricane, and I keep it in my wherever I'm at. It lives in my favorite flower bed in memory of my cats that I lost. But you know, everything has a way of working out. Now I have my little Puffin, and he's my little angel baby. That's what I call him. He's my little angel baby. And my little Puffin's my little baby now. Yes, I'm talking about you, Snooky. He didn't even wake up when I said that. He's under the sewing table asleep on his couch. Oh, I gave him Mike gave him a good bath, and then I trimmed up some of his hair, so he can see again. It was really getting in his eyes. And bless his little heart, I realized I'd been a bad daddy because I was having to help him get up his steps to get up in bed, and come to find out, I know this is awful, I feel horrible, but yeah, he had so much hair he wasn't seeing well enough to feel comfortable jumping up on the footstool to get up in the bed. But he can see now. He has no problem getting up in the bed now. And now he can really beg for food because you can see those big eyes of his. If I say the CHICKEN word, that always wakes him up. That's what he loves. He loves chicken. Yep, that made him raise his head. But you know what else he loves to eat? We make Greek yogurt in our Instapot. He loves yogurt. And I mean, it's unsweetened, nothing added to it. Yeah, he loves him some yogurt. Oh, Julie, I love all of that too, but yeah, I like to drink from mason jars as well. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Oh, what happened there? You know what? Looky here. I just ran out of thread. Oh my gosh. In my lower looper. Gosh, I haven't had to add thread. It's been a while. I'm using these, what are these? These are Mettler Serger Serger thread. And I think these were like 1,000 yard little mini cones. It's what came with my serger. And I will tell you, I've come to the conclusion I really like Mettler Serger Serger thread. It is, before that it was Madeira all the way for me, but I will tell you, after using this, it is now my new favorite. I have a lot of Mettler, a lot of Madeira Aerowalk bought up, and a few in gray and black or general neutrals. But I will be once I get it used up or sold, I will be replacing all of that with Serger. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to swap to the other camera and you can watch me thread. Okay, get to a different camera here. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to pull this camera back. Here we go. There we go. Okay. This is the red thread path for the lower looper. Raise that presser foot up. Get my little brush and do a little housekeeping while I got this open. Okay. I might have to get my vacuum out with those micro tools and give it a good clean out. It is time. I have used the heck out of this since I got it in November. Okay, right there. And then I turn my lever to close my threading loopers. I'm just going to touch on the foot pedal. And they're closed. Yes, with this serger, you never have to reach around here to turn the hand wheel to close your threading, your air threaders. You just gently press down on your foot control, and that's what does it. Press down the foot control to engage to run it. And there we are. We're all all rethreaded, fast and easy, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. I got my tweezers out. See this right here, it holds all my tools. And I took off the back to my diesel wristwatch so I could see what the battery died on it. So I've got me a battery ordered for it. But I used my tweezers on here to get the battery out of the back of my wristwatch. Okay. Now we're all set to go. And we'll just keep on trucking. There we go. Now we're making our stitches. Yeehaw. Yeah, but I'm excited to get to be going back down to Austin, Texas. There's some beautiful quilt shops in Austin. Okay, and guess what, everybody? Those are my sections. Now I just have to sew my big sections together, and I will have everything. Yeah, Tracy, it is a polyester thread. Okay, and it does not have a sheen to it. It has a matte finish. It is not shiny, but I will tell you, it does not produce, it produces hardly any lint whatsoever. I mean, Madeira is great for that. Believe it or not, I think this produces even less lint than Madeira, and I never thought that would be possible, but it is. Okay, now then, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections to sew together. So there are those two. Let me swap back to my other camera and you can see what I'm doing better here. And there we go. Okay. And I think I said this on the last episode, everyone. All of these, they're not only recorded as I'm doing this live directly onto YouTube, I also record a copy onto my computer's hard drive because I am going to go and edit all of this footage for this project, all the episodes, down into one episode that's not nowhere nearly as long as what these lives are. So long story short, yeah, there will be an edited version of these videos coming out soon. Yes, I'm all excited about next week going to Bernina headquarters. All of us educators are getting training on the new top-of-the-line Bernina. I am so excited. And we know nothing about it yet. I mean, they have been very, very, very tight-lipped about all the details on this new machine. piece. Okay, let's get the next one. It will go right here. Right? Let me see here. Let me do a quick looky, see here on my other piece. Just want to make sure. Yep, that is correct. Yes. I tell you, Tracy, that's the 4 days I was in Colorado. Up there in Fort Collins, it rained and snowed every day that I was there. It was really beautiful. Really beautiful. But boy, it'd been a few years since I'd been back to Colorado, and things have really built up there. From the airport up to Fort Collins, especially, all the way up to Longmont. Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize that at all. From the interstate, the new enormous, oh my gosh, Amazon distribution center. That thing was huge. And so much housing as well. Condos and everything. It was just interesting, for sure. Okay, one more section. Woohoo! One more section. Here we go. Then I'll have these two units exactly alike pieced, and then I'll have to set the two halves together with a strip of fabric, a single row of fabric all the way across. We're wanting to come back out for a visit to Colorado, and there are some hot springs out there with our names on it, that's for sure. I want to go to Idaho Springs again and go to the cave springs there at Idaho. Tracy, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. The hotel was built like in the late 1800s. That's connected to this cave system that has hot springs in it. It also has a beautiful indoor swimming pool that's fed by the hot water from the mineral springs, and it keeps the water heated. It's inside a big biodome. It is fabulous. Right across the interstate from it are some gold mines where you can actually pay to go pan for gold. Oh yes, Tracy, and Glendale Springs, and we also like the springs down around Crestone also. here's all of those. Woohoo! So next, I have to piece together a strip that will go in between this unit and the one that goes up here. See, this is the upper. Let me get this laid out up here so I know what I'm doing. Okay, that's the top half. I guess it doesn't matter, but that's just the way I pieced it. Okay, then the piece that I finished on the last episode is the bottom half. Here we go, right here like this. And see, now I have to piece one word, right? This will be the very center of the quilt right here. And this will form like a big X. Is that right? Wait a minute here. That doesn't look right for some reason. I think I messed this up, everybody. Hold on. Let me look at my chart. I think I have it backwards. I think this is the top, actually. Let's see here. Let me see. Oh boy, did I get way off somewhere. Hold on here. Well, I may just have created my own version of this. No, that's right. Wait a minute. No, I'm correct. I'm sorry. Right up here is the center. Woo. Right up here is the center. Okay. There we go. There we go. This is the center up here. Yep. Yep. Okay. I'm going to use my teapot just to hold that in spot right there. And then, Tracy, I'm going to tell you, if I messed up, I wasn't ripping. I was just going to make my own unique design out of it. Because that would have required a lot of ripping. Now I have these strips right here that I had pre-set aside for it. And let's see here. Okay, let me see. I've got plenty of leftover strips. I mean, to fine tune this if I need to. That would go there. Right? Right there. Okay. That is correct. Okay, that goes right there. Yep. Now then this one would go right here. Yep. Perfect. Okay. So I have to sew these two strips together right here. Oh yes, we got it. That is correct. Okay. If I sew this, make this one long strip, I just have two more seams to have all this intricate piecing complete. Okay. There we go. So now I'm just going to take this piece right here and I'm going to stitch this. Make sure I start with the right one here. Is that right? That is correct. Right there. That goes right there. Alrighty. Hi, Bernadette. Welcome. This is the third episode, Bernadette. The others have been recorded. And there will be one more on this. And I'm definitely going to do that over the weekend. I will not be here next Friday. I will be here next Friday night, but I will be driving that day, so I probably will not come on live. We'll see. I'm not going to say no just yet. I'll have to see how I'm doing. If I don't come on next Friday, I will come on Saturday, though. Okay. Here we go. Just taking my time, matching my seams as I go, nesting those seams as I go. The great thing about piecing on a serger also, that knife is trimming all of my loose threads. If you noticed, I didn't trim those chains or anything, because I knew my knife would do that for me. Yeah, I'm about to make some more of these. Not specifically in this fabric, but boy howdy, I could see a pretty Tula Pink quilt done like this as well. Or some cafe. I will do one of my postage stamp ones again. And I might just actually do that out of that cherry wood hand-dyed fabric. That's some beautiful stuff. Of course, that would all be strip pieced, everybody. When I say postage stamp, I'm not going to cut those 1-inch squares by hand. No, that'll all be strip pieced. I will cut 1.5-inch strips to sew together. As far as that goes. Moving right along here. Let's see, when I piece, whether a sewing machine or a serger, my go-to color for thread is gray, everybody. It blends with almost everything. Now, if I have a lot of bright white fabric in a quilt top, then I might actually piece with some white thread. But in general, I'm going to piece with gray thread because it really blends really nicely with everything. Now then. Now I just have to sew this piece onto this strip that I just attached right there. Awesome. And then I'm going to pin this up on my design wall so you all can get a look at it. some of this weight up off of me here. Here we go. There we go. That's better already. Because that weight is wanting to pull all my fabric to one side. Tracy, I will probably, believe it or not, I will probably just quilt with white. Quite honestly, is what I'm thinking. Because there is a lot of white in this quilt. Top, the fabric, the background, and everything. That's what I'm kind of thinking of right now. We'll see. I'll either do it with white or gray thread. Because as busy as this print is, I'm just going to be adding texture. I'm not going to be that focused on the actual quilting design because you would never see it on this fabric. The fabric is very busy and it blends because of the prints. That's what I'm thinking right now anyway, Tracy. Okay. I do have my needle on this machine stopping in the down position. That way if I need to adjust fabric or anything, I have a little helping hand there. Yeah, I gave my friend Carol a kimono today. I made her a kimono. Excuse me. For dinner tonight, we made orange chicken with some yummy jasmine rice. It was so good. Almost to the end here, everybody. Woohoo! Okay. That quilt top, the piecing part of this part's done. The only step left to do to this is just to add borders to it. Oh, I know, Bernadette, it's my favorite. I love rice. And jasmine is my favorite rice. And cooked it in the Instapot. But there we go, look at that. Let me get it put up on the wall and then I'll turn my cameras so y'all can get a really good look at this. The design will now be evident as to why it's called Trip Around the World. Okay. And it is big. Woohoo, that's a good thing. my rolly chair. Okay. Okay. Now then, let's do this one first. There we go. I'm going to walk around and move so I can control my camera. Get you the best view that I can. But you can see the center of it there. The colors radiate out from the center. Hence, trip around the world. And the Amish like to call it sunshine and shadow. There we go. Isn't it beautiful though? My design wall is 72 inches and this goes down all the way to the floor. I'm 6 foot. So this is about 872 by 84 without the border. Oops. Okay. Woo-wee. And then one more thing while I have it on the big camera here, and I got my back the lens all the way out. Here is that border fabric. As I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, on my next episode, I'm going to show you how to cut border fabric out on a serger, everybody, and make it super easy. No, Bernadette is from a company called, let me look at my salvages here. It is In the Beginning Fabrics, Decoupage from In the Beginning Fabrics. Let me go to my other camera and I'll show you the salvage. All the fabric in this quilt is from the Decoupage line. Hold on. Right there. Right there is the fabric line for all the fabric in this quilt top. See, and that's a current fabric, 2024. And for the binding, here's the binding fabric. This is also from the same line. This is black toil. This is the binding fabric here. This part here will go next to the piecing. This will be the outside edge of the quilt. And then this will be the binding fabric that'll go around the edge of the quilt. Hi Wanda, good to see you again. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so yeah, this has been a fun one to do. Oh my gosh. On the next episode, I'm going to show you my technique to cut this border fabric out super fast and easy and accurate using a serger. You'll be amazed. It amazes me every time that I do it. I could take a pair of scissors and slowly cut it out. I could use a ruler and a rotary cutter and slowly cut it out as well, but I'm going to show you the easy way to do it on episode 4, which is the next episode. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, everybody. Woohoo! Thank you so much. That's what I have for you tonight, everybody. Let's see. Let me think what I got going on tomorrow. I will do episode 4 on Sunday night. I will do it Sunday. Yes, I'm going to make it Sunday, 6 o'clock Sunday night. We'll be doing episode 4, and I will be showing, in that episode, I'm going to cut out all my border fabric for this quilt top. Thank you, Bernadette. Londa, absolutely. Let me think now. The L860 is the one with the screen. The L850 does not have the screen. And the L890 does not have that threader that you have, that mechanical threader. So let me think here. I do not have one that I could demo that on, unfortunately. However, I think there is a YouTube video somewhere on how to do that. If not, on Bernina's We All Sew, there should be a video tutorial somewhere on how to do that. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you, Tracy. Thank you so much for everything. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a glorious Saturday, and I will see you all on Sunday. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you, everyone.